Welcome to the Around the Arc Superlative Show. I'm Joe Catapano. Alongside me, Connor, Stuckey, Ryan, and Greg down there at the end. Guys, we're going to take you through the best game, player, and team from this past week on Monday night. Whoever wants to jump in with their best game of the week, I think we'll have a lot of the same answers here, right from the 6 o'clock games we saw on Monday.
I'll start. My best game was the Monstars. One Team C Redemption. It was a very close game. Went to overtime, and those are the type of games that you come to see and watch if you on Snapchat when you play in this league and watch this league. It was close, competitive, hard fought, a lot of rebounding, high flying dunks. It was a perfect blend of basketball.
Right, and at the same time on the other court, you had Central Chocolate pull out that really close win against Sportslook. You had a little bit of everything. You had big stops at the end. You had one-man shows taking over like Carmine Santarelli and Brian Acevedo. Put up a bunch of points down the stretch. It was a really exciting game, which was expected going in, so it lived up to the hype. Stuckey.
No Limit Team Moose. That game for me was actually, I love physical branded basketball. And those guys fought the entire game, and they were super physical. And I liked that game. And it was a close game, just like you said, it's spread-full. So.
Yeah, for me it was the Central Chocolate versus Sportslook over there on court too. Like Ryan already said, just really hard to not pick that team. Every time you got Acevedo versus Carmine Santarelli as your marquee matchup on the floor, you're going to definitely get a good game. So hard to pick against that.
Definitely like Stuckey's pick. I'm telling you, I think that could definitely be Team Moose and No Limit semifinals, maybe finals rematch later on in the season. We'll switch over to best team of the night down there with Greg. Who's your best team back on Monday night?
My best team is the Monstars, and I don't even know if I need to say anything. Just go view the Legacy League Snapchat, and you will see everything you need to know about this Monstars team. They're electric.
Twin Tropics. I want the record to show I landed on that Plymouth Rock first when it came to that bandwagon, and we mentioned their depth back on Monday night on the post-game show, and they're 9 deep. There's not one liability on that team. Anyone they throw out there can make a difference. They can beat anybody in this league. I wouldn't be surprised to see them in the finals.
Wow. All right, you heard it here first.
Whew. Well, since we're going to go talk about the finals, my boy Jabril already told me that he plans on seeing the Brotherhood in the finals and they're going to win. So he owed me a win in the finals. But my team is the Brotherhood. They still haven't lost a game yet, and they came out on Monday night and they scored 105 points and limited their opponents to under 60. So whenever you can do that, you're going to win the game. So the Brotherhood.
Yeah, for me, I'm definitely going to have to pick Central Chocolate for Team of the Night. They were 0-2 this season. Really, not a good start for them, especially with the offensive player that they have on that team. You don't expect that. But it was a desperate win for them tonight. They needed this win against a strong Sportslook team led by Acevedo, who obviously does not like losing. And those guys were able to pull it out and get themselves their first win of the season. And they didn't even have one of their best players, Aaron Samuel, tonight. So if they can get him, I think that their team is going to be definitely a team to mess with come later on in the season.
Definitely like your pick over here just because they don't have Aaron Samuel too. I don't know if Carmine's 100% just yet. Wait till he is. You guys will be in for a treat. We'll switch over to individual performances from Monday night. Who stuck out? I don't know if we had any 40-point games like we did in 1 and 2, but we definitely had some good individual performances. Greg, who is your individual performance of the night?
The player that really stood out for me was Jalen Graham. Obviously, he came back, and he really set the tone. When in the beginning of the game, things were moving slow. Team Moose was playing very physical. They were playing very hard D, and I saw something in him when he just turned that switch and he just started just being a different animal. I mean, I know Terrell Vargas had 2 big threes, but Jalen Graham sets the tone for that team, and I think they go as he goes.
And we didn't have any 40-point guys, but Carmine Santarelli had 38 for Central Chocolate and shot 15 and 20 from the field. He missed 1 field goal attempt from inside the arc, so he was pretty impressive. Not to mention he had a lot of good stops on defense too. Did miss a couple free throws down the stretch, but was involved in that last stop on the final possession to seal the game, so he more than made up for it.
And to piggyback off of that, no 40-pointers, but Jonathan Robles had 37, and he only missed 1 shot. And you should have seen his feet work today. Yeah, you know what I mean? Because you can't do anything with 1 foot. That boy moved his feet down in the paint like he was coached real good. So whenever he could do that like that down there, I love to watch it. He was my player on Monday night. He was my player.
And for me, it was Eric Singleton on Lob 203. And the reason why I picked him is because a lot of these players that we've all picked, they actually have strong supporting cast and other guys on their roster that can step up and put up 20. With Lob 203, I feel like they're more well-rounded, and they really rely on guys like Eric Singleton to carry the load offensively for them every week. You know, I think every time that you got to put a lot of pressure on that guy's back, he has to come out and perform. He came out tonight, put up 12 for 19, 26 points, 2 steals. You know, I think that he really puts up, you know, a lot of the work for his team, more so than maybe some of the other players in the league.
I didn't tell you to prepare for this, but was there any team that you thought took a step back this week and was a little disappointing on Monday night?
I think the Bad Boys are very disappointing. I know a few of them. I know Matt Shannon had a good game. I know a lot of them, like I said, and I think that they're much better than they've showed these first 3 weeks. I mean, as I know them, it's disappointing to see. They have all the talent, but you just kind of wish they'd put it together because they're probably better than how badly Flint Tropics beat them.
Anyone else think there was a team that took a step back?
You took mine, but sports look, when you think about it, they were right there, and they had a Central Chocolate team that still probably has that opening game fresh in their minds when they blew that lead, and they were missing free throws. They had the ball on the final possession. They had a good look. They just couldn't finish, couldn't pull down an offensive rebound. So not necessarily disappointing as a whole, but just disappointing that they weren't able to finish that comeback.
Stucky?
When I'm talking about disappointment, I'm gonna go no limit, only because of how sloppy they were playing this basketball game. They didn't even score 60 points. They scored 59 points. This is a no limit team with depth. These guys can score the basketball. They got defensive presence, but today they just couldn't get it together. So they took a huge step back for me because they only scored 59 points. So.
I think that also goes to show testament to Team Moose's defense.
Right.
They gave up 41
Right.
last week, and now you say 58, 59 this week.
59.
I think that has a lot to do with Team Moose's defense, but no limit for you. A little bit of hot take for me here. Connor, any team that took a step back?
Yeah, real quick, I'll just talk about the Flight Club, how they were a little bit disappointing, losing by 31 points to STP tonight. And I know that they might be one of the lower ranked tier teams in the power rankings. I thought it was a competitive matchup against STP, and it was a competitive game for the most part, but they completely fell apart late in that game and let STP blow the doors open. So as a team like Flight Club, who I would have walked into that game as a member of Flight Club feeling like we had a good chance to win, and then walking out of the building losing by 31, I feel like that was definitely a big disappointment.
Definitely. Well, for Joe Catapano, alongside me was Connor, Stucky, Ryan, and Greg. We'll see you next week on the Around the Arc Superlative show. Until then, check out all the coverage on thelegacyleagues.com. Until Monday night, we'll see you then. Have a good week.